Today we're talking about the Pneumatic blast gun with gravity feed. I picked this guy up to do this guy, the big areas. I took off all the small parts and used the blast cabinet, Pneumatic blast cabinet, to do the small parts. But the big thing, I was getting tired of doing sanding and grinding, and it was just junk. So I bought this thing, and it was pretty cheap. That's why I picked it up, because it was inexpensive. I was like, you know what? For the price, I'll just see if this thing's even worth a crap. And yeah, lo and behold, it's actually super awesome. Having the portability of sandblasting, literally with just an air gun like this, is awesome. Now, this gun, first, big warning, makes a mess. You gotta think about that. In the video that I did doing this, I tried to set up like a halfway blast cabinet with some trash bags. It worked, but the dust cloud is still insane. Wear a mask with this thing. Wear a mask sandblasting with anything. Aluminum oxide destroys your lungs. But overall though, this thing was super cool, super useful, super made a mess. You lose most of your media, so just think about that going into it. If you're buying expensive aluminum oxide, I would probably recommend using like pre-dried play sand with this, so you don't really care. Plus the sand you can just throw in your yard when you're done, and you won't be upset that you spent $5 on sand compared to like 25, 30, 40 bucks on aluminum oxide. And let's be honest, the sand does a good job anyways. But yeah, so this thing, definitely an awesome little tool, minus the mess. It doesn't hold a lot of media. You're not doing big surface areas. You'll be constantly loading this thing if you have a big project to do. But whatever, you know, that's not like a flaw by any means. I'm just saying be prepared to have to reload this thing. One of the bigger complaints, though, I have about this is this little lever right here is your on-off lever for the tank. So in off position, it'll just blow air, which is good for clearing your gun. And then in on position, obviously, it's gravity fed, so it's literally as big as this hole is on the inside. And I haven't taken it out, so I really don't know. But as big as this hole is on the inside is how much you're getting out of this. And because it's gravity fed, if you leave it open, it will just fall out. So just keep that in mind. Always close off your gun when you're not using it, so you don't lose any of your media. The other thing is I'm pretty sure that the interior diameter, just based on how much was flowing out, the interior diameter is sufficiently smaller. Sufficiently is not even the right word. Significantly, there you go, smaller than your actually output here. And there might be some method to that logic there, that you only want a certain amount flowing out compared to the air capacity coming out of there. But either way, that did cause some jamming issues even on fresh media. But simple enough, and it unclogs. Not that big of a deal. I never had a significant jam on this thing for the project I was using it on. Now, granted, I probably only have a few hours on this gun, so it's not anything that I use daily, especially now that I have the blast cabinet. And so the few jams I had were a couple second annoyance at best. But, you know, I can envision this thing being used like out in your driveway for parts that you don't want to take off of a tractor or vehicle or something like that, and you need to blast off all the grease and all the muck and all the dirt just so you can throw a rattle can spray paint job on it. But either way, this thing worked really well. Now, I will say, it says it recommends 7 CFM at 90 PSI, and that's probably true somewhere in some perfect environment. My compressor does 10 CFM at 90 PSI, and even so, my compressor is having some trouble keeping up with the gun. Not a lie, it was pretty close. I'd probably recommend 11 or 12 CFM on the top side, just so you don't have any real dips in your PSI. But other than that, this thing was awesome. Another cool thing I use this thing for, and this is going to be embarrassing, used it for decorating some Halloween stuff. I loaded the hopper up with glitter, and this thing is an excellent glitter gun. Just side point to that. And don't ask what I was doing for glitter. Watch my Halloween video if you want to see what my Halloween decorations look like. They're freaking kick-ass, so, you know, don't get mad. But yeah, you could use this thing for a lot of different cool DIY projects, for coating stuff, like, you know, put a layer of glue on, and then if the media is small enough, just spray it. Low CFM. You know, you're not trying to sandblast, you're just trying to decorate. Kind of like a sealing gun for doing spray media. You couldn't do the sealing stuff out of this, I don't think, but guess there's really no way to wash this very well. But either way, point is, there's some other cool DIY uses for this gun other than just using it for a sandblaster. But either way, if you have large projects that won't fit into a sandblasting cabinet, this one is pretty cool. And I know Harbor Freight has a couple different versions of the gravity hopper one, and I think there's an under canister one, not 100% sure. But, and I can't say which one's best out of all of them. All I'm saying is this one works, and it works well for what it is. So, would I recommend it? Yeah, if you got a big job to do, and you don't mind the mess, and you don't mind not being able to recover your media, this is, it works. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. It worked perfect for me, so, hopefully that was good enough to convince you one way or the other. Hey guys, don't forget, giving away some icon tools, an extendo ratchet, added that to it, a couple of little things we haven't shared with you yet. But we're giving them away once we hit 1,000 subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and get yourself entered into the free drawing. Alright guys, let's talk about something serious. How does a Central Pneumatic blast gun with gravity feed work in the zombie apocalypse? Really? I don't know. There's definitely scenarios that you could come up with that you could use it as like a flamethrower maybe. That'd probably be dangerous, and you probably end up, and you wouldn't have to worry about the zombie apocalypse. Ah, crap! You can't say on YouTube. You know what? I'll just bleep that part out. Anyway, so there's probably some scenarios you could think of. It's definitely not something I would ever grab as like a bug out weapon or anything like that. So overall, give it like a 0.5. Maybe a 1, maybe. I don't know. It's a 0.5 to a 0 in my opinion. So really not a good zombie apocalypse weapon, but works really well as a sandblasting tool.
Hey everyone, just want to let you know I'm not affiliated with Harbor Freight and they're not sponsoring me yet. I'm just doing this because I love Harbor Freight and all their tools. I've had lots of great experiences with them, and they're always helpful. The staff is really knowledgeable, and it's really, for the most part, the best bang for your buck. So, just want to make it clear, definitely not sponsored yet, Harbor Freight. Call me. And I hope y'all enjoy the videos.